Good evening. A week ago tonight, the home of an American diplomat in Jamaica was bombed and sprayed with machine gun fire. The diplomat, First Secretary Richard Kinsman, had been identified in an American magazine as a purported CIA agent. The Prime Minister of Jamaica, Michael Manley, apologized profusely for the incident and promised a rigorous investigation. The American was not hurt, but the incident symbolized both the political tension between the U.S. and Jamaica and the island's increasingly violent politics. So far this year, more than 250 Jamaicans have met violent deaths, most of them thought to be political murders. Prime Minister Manley has announced elections for later this year, but is given only a slim chance of holding power. The island's economy is staggering under rising energy prices and other troubles attributed to Manley's socialist economic policies. The island is heavily in debt to North American banks. In 1978, it secured large credits from the International Monetary Fund to finance recovery. But talks to refinance that broke down in March. Edward Siaga, the opposition leader, claims that Manley is taking the island down the road to Marxism. That anxiety is alive in Washington as the administration surveys the increasing political turmoil in the Caribbean as a breeding ground for Cuban or Soviet mischief. Tonight, a close-up view of Jamaica's dilemma and Manley's struggle to be both independent and solvent through the eyes of a British reporter, Bernard Falk. His filmed report was broadcast by the BBC 2 weeks ago. It begins last March as Manley travels to Grenada, the former British colony which set up a Marxist government friendly to Cuba after a revolution a year ago.
In the uniform, Daniel Ortega, Sandinistan revolutionary from Nicaragua. In the tropical leisure suit, Michael Manley, Prime Minister of Jamaica. He's a self-appointed elder statesman of the Third World, and as such is warmly greeted by comrade Prime Minister Maurice Bishop, who seized power in Grenada a year ago. All these men head countries greatly influenced and inspired by Fidel Castro's Cuba. This gathering will cause great alarm in the United States of America, proving the spirit of revolution is growing. But the presence of Michael Manley, hobnobbing with Marxist friends, will be even more provocative. Many Americans would like to be rid of Manley in the belief he's turning Jamaica into another Cuba. Blame for caring more about Third World ideology than about paying the rent. As far as his opponents are concerned, there's little doubt that Jamaica's problems stem from his admiration of Cuba. Manley is a close friend of Dr. Fidel Castro. After his first visit to Cuba, he praised the spirit of unity among the people and their ideology. It mattered little to Manley that in America, such support of a communist state was like a declaration of war. Manley believes the highest price he's had to pay is the collapse of the Jamaican economy. This is Kingston International Airport, and the conveyor belt transporting luggage looks like a mobile supermarket. Domestic goods unobtainable here are brought in by passengers from North America. Without foreign exchange, Jamaica is running out of the basic commodities people need to live. What things are you short of here?
The basic commodities: rice, flour, cod fish, oil, bread.
No bread?
No bread.
Is this a typical day?
Yes, it's a typical day.
Why can't you get the things?
Well, it's all due to the economic situation in the country. I haven't got any foreign exchange.
Goes broke, its people go broke with it. Unemployment is now around 30%, and factories are closing down daily. At this plastics factory, workers have been laid off, and half the remaining workforce sits idle, the machines covered up. Without foreign exchange, the company cannot import raw materials. The Bank of Jamaica is broke, £130 million in debt. On the walls of Kingston, Manley's opponents know where to put the blame. IMF is Manley's fault. Senior Albertelli, a banker with the International Monetary Fund, came to Jamaica to negotiate a small loan on top of the $1 billion the country already owes. He demanded an end to ambitious socialist programs the country couldn't afford. Manley and his party, widely blamed for gross economic mismanagement, refused to accept dramatic government spending cuts. Now the talks have broken down, Jamaica is all but bankrupt. The biggest loss Jamaica's suffered has been the drain of people, the desertion from their homes in the Kingston suburbs of the vital middle class. They're mainly living in America, their houses empty or rented out.